first round of Top Cup for Dice Masters 2018 Nationals in Canada. On the stream, we will have, this round will be Ben and Stephane. Stephane is running Splinter's Teachings, Unstable Canister, Boom Boom Time Bomb, Staff of the Forgotten One, Scarlet Witch, Mr. Miracle, Nova Corps Uniform, Morph, Change of Heart, Madame Mask, and Onslaught. Ben is running Create Food from Water, Arch Nemesis, Ring of Winter, Yuan-Ti Pureblood, Billy Club, Mimic Borrowed Talent, Shriek, Madam Web, Prof. No More Magnus, and Gold Dragon. So they're just setting up right now, guys. I'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, guys, so that is the first round starting. I have along with me actually to commentate for this round, Nick, who was our top 9 position and was unable to make it into the top 8. So we figured he's here. Might as well join us. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
All right, so Nick, did you play against both of them or just one of them?
I haven't played against them today, but I played against both of them yesterday, and they're very decent players, and it was great to see that Ben was able to make it up from Toronto and enjoy the Nationals event here in Gatineau, and hopefully if we have this event again next year, he'll come back with maybe a few more Torontonians, so it'd be great to see the game grow more in Canada so that we could maybe even equal out to American numbers and such.
I mean, that'll probably be a stretch, but if we could, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, so at this point, we've got what looks like a Mimic already purchased, a Sidekick on board, a Yuan-Ti purchase, a bit of a either that was, I believe, a cake play, possibly a red. There's no res, so it must have been a cake. All right, and now we're over to Stephane. So let's see what kind of stuff he can do. So guys, based on the last stream, Ben's team is actually quite quick, especially with all those Mimic triggers off of Magnus. Stephane is running a team that may take a little more work to set up, especially if he wants to use those morphs. So we'll see if he can get there. Remembering, of course, this is a best of 3 because we're in the top cut, and it's 50 minutes, 5-0. Oh, there was a slight misplay there, just due to Stephane using cake and probably in his head thinking it was resurrection. So that's been corrected. Looks like the Mimic hit the face, as well as a mask, so we're going to see a Magnus Global as well. Ring of Winter's been purchased, so he's really pushing for that dragon. And there's Mimic, copying the Sidekick. Billy Club to make a mask, and then Magnus to put a Sidekick up, allowing for a draw of 2, thanks to Mimic. And we've already got a Ring of Winter. So Nick, I'm thinking we're going to see that Gold Dragon next round.
Yeah. Definitely looks like it's coming.
All right, so this is just Ben explaining how the Mimic ramp works to Stephane. All right. Morph hit the board and called Unstable Canister, while Ben was trying to convince him to call other things. Just trying to play those mind games, covering up the canister and everything else. Didn't look like it worked, but good on Ben for trying.
Yeah.
This is actually, I find, one of those teams that really misses having that pullback global, right? But we're going to see one coming up. I think it's in... I want to say the Warhammer set, but it might be one of the others, where we are getting that pullback global back, which will help the team that Stephane's running so much more, because you can just swing with the morphs, pay the global, bring them right back so that you get that trigger off of the action without actually ever losing morph.
Yeah.
It's also a great way to get around Scarlet Witch, which we've been seeing on a number of teams.
Yeah. Due to all the attuned teams that have actions as key, which it's interesting to see even a bishop around these 2 days. but still a great counter.
Yeah. Oh wow. So with the fielding of those three sidekicks, Ben is going to be able to prep 6 dice. Although I have a feeling he just undid it because he may not have enough dice to prep. Okay. He only has 3 dice to prep. I guess he's chosen not to buy anything before using that function. Got a Yuanti up on board. Or not. Ben is seeming a little indecisive at the moment, which is understandable. It's been a very long weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so he used the global on the Billy Club in order to pay for the fielding, in order to keep those 2 bolts.
Yeah, especially with all the great competition we've had. It's been a long 2 days.
Yeah. So I'm assuming at this point that Ben's kept those 2 bolts in order to be able to magic missile something off board during Stephane's turn. Which I'm guessing will be the morph. I just need to double check its sides, as it's a little hard to read.
Yeah.
So assuming that morph is not on its top face, it has a defensive 2 or less, so that is likely his target in main step.
Well, Boom Boom just hit the board.
Oh, fair. Could be the Boom Boom. That's an important thing.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's the Boom Boom, and it's gone. Still attack declaration of morph in order to trigger for 2 damage off of the canister. I think here I would have actually considered putting the canister damage into the Mimic just to turn off that ramp.
Yeah, yeah, because right now that's just going to equal out a gold dragon at some point.
Yep. Although there's still nothing wrong with doing damage to your opponent.
Yeah.
Just feels like sometimes might be worthwhile
Yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah.
All depends on player style.
Yeah. As I've learned through our community, working with the many different players we had, it depends on their thinking and all that, too, of how to build teams and such.
Yep. And Ben lets the morph through so that it's off the table, taking a few more damage, but it means the morph can't swing next turn.
Yeah, it's got to go through Stephane's bag now.
Yeah. Just double checking the damage math to make sure that he's at the right total life.
Yeah.
And so, guys, for reference, although Ben's larger die is currently out of screen, he is using the life totals along the bottom by his hand, so you can always check there to see what his life is.
Yeah.
There's the play to get the dragon.
Yep.
Using the Ring of Winter global just to make it so much cheaper, and he had the ring to bring out the dragon. And there's removing of the sidekick with the attune. So Ben is really set up here. He may be going in for lethal in 1 to 2 turns.
Yeah.
If Stephane can't get in the way.
Well, also remember the Gold Dragon does have Breath Weapon to deal with some of the issues too of getting defenders on board.
For sure. Oh, and here comes the Gold Dragon as well as the Yuanti. For argument's sake, the Yuanti was unblockable because it was the common. However, there were no blockers left on Stephane's board, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, also that's too an interesting thing, seeing the different rarities of Yuanti, not just like the super or uncommon being played due to that attune that some people actually found use for the common in our
for sure.
group.
Although in this case, I'm pretty sure Ben said that he doesn't own the super rare, which is why he's been using the common.
Yeah.
Although I personally enjoy the unblockable aspect of the common.
Yeah, that's definitely useful for like if you were to draft it, it definitely would be key with drafts being more wally as opposed to like here where it's open most of the time for quick teams.
It's very true. All right, so Stephane's got his Boom Boom, but he doesn't have the morph in order to be able to trigger it. I don't think he has any. I don't think he's purchased any basic actions. So right now, he's trying to figure out what he can do to try and get back in this a bit.
So Stephane just used cake global.
Yep. Oh, Stephane saying just for the fun of it, he's going to Magic Missile off the Mimic, which I think was a really great play, as this means that Ben has to roll it and get it back on board before he can start ramping again.
Yeah.
It also stopped Ben from ramping off of the sidekick he just generated.
Yeah.
Looks like Ring of Winter came back up, although I don't expect he'll buy a second dragon, at least not this round.
Yeah.
He re-rolled it, of course. Looks like Yuanti missed. Ring of Winter still came up. Yeah, so he's not caring about the Ring of Winter. Fielding a sidekick, get out of the way. I'm guessing he missed on Mimic, which is going to give Stephane a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, for the time being.
Yeah. Although at this point, Ben also does have 5 sidekicks out of his bag sitting on the table, which means he's cycling a lot better.
Yeah, and like Gold Dragon can come out next turn.
Very
really
likely.
Be good.
Very likely. And Ben just passes. Does give him 2 bolts to be able to Magic Missile off something from the board, as well as a mask to generate a sidekick, which, assuming one of those bolts is a sidekick die, he can generate from that if it's done after the Magic Missile.
Yes.
Oh, Morph is back, as well as a basic action, I believe.
Yeah, that's the
Splinter's Teachings.
Yeah.
Which, just for reference, if people want to know, Splinter's Teaching is roll a target character die from your used pile. If it rolls a character face, field it at no cost. Otherwise, place it in your bag.
So kind of a replacement to Transfer Power.
Yeah. Well, it even has the same global, in fact.
Yeah. It just is the modern version to Transfer Power.
Yep. And of course, Morph comes back up into the field and shows Unstable Canister, which means now when he attacks, he'll not only do 2 damage with Canister, he'll also do 2 damage with Boom Boom. Stephane has chosen to buy a Canister. He's just looking to see how much burn he can get on the table. There was a Cake trigger. And attacking with Morph. Alright, so guys, just if that looked a little out of sequence, there was a miss of passive priority. So Ben corrected it by doing the 2 damage to KO Boom Boom so that she would not trigger when Morph attacked. And then, of course, Morph attacked and was let through, doing 2 damage off of Canister and 2 or 3 damage off of his own attack stat. There's the Gold Dragon. And attacks everything, including Breath Weapon,
And
which
there's
ends
the
the round, ends the first game of the match.
Yeah, so now it's on to game 2 once they reset up.
Yep.
But it's interesting to see that it was somewhat of a decently close game. Stephane actually gave Ben a good run there.
Yep. All right, now they're just ribbing each other about what life they should start at for the next round.
Yeah.
Ben wants Stephane to stay at 10 life, and Stephane said, sure, no problem, if, Ben, you start at 1 life.
Yeah, or as Stephane jokes around at our local games, is he'll roll the dice and like, okay, you start at whatever the D20 rolls at. It's a kind of fun ribbing to do to each other in fun games.
Yeah. But, of course, they're going to both start at 20 like they should.
Yeah.
Of course, an early Yuanti buy with a sidekick fielding. This is a good starting point.
Yeah. Start the bag thinning.
Yep. As well as a target for the Mimic that he'll likely buy next round.
And there's already one of the morphs purchased by Stephane.
Yep. So I'm expecting here he'll buy a Mimic and just put the Sidekick up on board.
Yeah, more bag thin, which looks like Ben's been getting good luck on the dice rolls during these past 2 days.
Oh, he's chosen to spin instead with Billy Club and use the Cake Global, just to see if he can get his bag cycling a bit more.
Yeah.
Which is good because it put Mimic back in the bag.
Yep. Like, I find the Cake is definitely a good global to have around that is kind of like Res, but more situational if you're trying to bag thin your sidekicks out. But it's still useful.
It's still a very good global.
Yeah.
Especially because it costs 1 generic instead of 1 shield.
Yep.
All right, so we had the Mimic and Yuanti come out of bag. And I believe he hit for both. Of course, Mimic copies the Sidekick. And there's the purchase of the Ring of Winter. Sidekick goes to Mask and makes a Sidekick to draw 2. Or prep 2.
Yep. So it looks like Ben's up and going, and
Yep, we're going to see that dragon again.
yeah. As long as Stephane doesn't pull something interesting out this game. Looks like there's the boom boom.
I believe that's the... Oh.
Or is that the Mimic?
Whoa. And there's a Meeple into our close-up because Ben's trying to amuse himself. All right.
Okay.
It's fine.
I guess with long days, you kind of need to amuse yourself one way or another.
Yeah.
Yep, there's boom boom.
Sorry, guys, for moving Ben's tag. I'm just trying to get it more legible, but he has a lot of bits in that corner.
Yeah.
So Stephane bought a Nova Corps uniform.
Yeah. Twice now, so it's interesting to see change up his strategy a bit.
And you were right, it was a boom boom that he rolled. Ring of Winter missed. Let's see if he can get it this time. He does. There's the global.
Yep, there's the dragon.
And +4. Getting the dragon and Ring of Winter it in. Alright, so Stephane is set up. Ben is now set up. Yeah. And there's a random attune damage off of the Ring of Winter and Yuanti.
And he passes turn.
Yeah, and of course Ben is set up holding 1 mask in order to be able to Magnus on Stephane's turn and draw 2.
And prepared to maybe do a good, decent swing next turn.
Yep. So Morph is up. I expect it'll be fielded.
Yep.
Oh, and I think Stephane's going to get ahead of himself here as he used the Bolt instead of the Fist. If he'd kept that Bolt, he could have gotten Rim and Mimic to stop Ben from using Magnus to ramp.
Yep.
However, Stephane is going to be able to swing in with Morph for 4 damage off of the Unstable Canister and Boom Boom.
Sounds like Ben's trying to help Stephane with sequencing.
Yep. And there's a priority of making a Sidekick to prep 2. And
Here's the swing.
Swing in, so that's 4 damage. And blocking the Morph. Double block with a Sidekick and with Mimic.
Interesting.
Okay.
I guess he's maybe trying to get the energy for the breath weapon.
Potentially. 'Cause otherwise he could just have blocked with the dragon.
Yeah. And the dragon, if he's chunky enough, would stay up on board.
Minimum 4/4.
Yeah, so it's chunky enough.
So he's fielding 2 Sidekicks. Looks like Mimic didn't come back. He's counting out for breath weapon, I'm expecting here.
Yeah. And maybe seeing if he can get something else purchased.
And there's the Create Food from Water Global.
Yep.
For a sidekick die, course into used. Attacking for Breath Weapon 3, so that's 3 damage.
2.
And then additional damage from the attack getting through, as Boom Boom couldn't survive the Breath Weapon.
That's what I always found interesting about the D&D Dragons is the Breath Weapon, where it could help clear your opponent's board.
For sure.
And it's nice to see stuff like that.
All right, they've got 2 Nova Corps uniforms. And
Wow.
misses on both Nova Corps. So there was a comment from the players about, all right, so that morph's going to be strong. And then they both missed, so, or not. And they miss even worse.
Oh, jeez. As we have a saying in our community about Stephane, he's the legend where, like, when he needs stuff, he misses them big times, and when he doesn't need stuff, he'll get them when he doesn't need them, which is kind of interesting to see that he pulls it off on stream.
He did thankfully get both characters, however,
yeah.
which means he can do another 4 damage on swing.
Yeah.
Possibly, depending on what Ben does with those 2 wilds.
Yeah. I think Ben kept them back for this situation.
Yeah. On the plus side, the 2 players are laughing a fair bit.
Yeah, so at least they're having fun.
Yep.
And that's what we like to see in our community.
Well, and with anybody else we play with.
Yeah. It sounds like Stephane's facing the music.
Oh, we missed priority again.
Yeah.
And there's the priority to get rid of Boom Boom. So he's attacking with Morph. Oh. He's going to make the sidekick instead.
Oh.
Instead of KOing the Boom Boom. Interesting. With a magic missile into the sidekick. Interesting. So he's taking 4 off the effect. As well as Boom Boom, of course.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he was...
And he's blocking with Yuan-Ti, which kills the Yuan-Ti.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's either trying to get ramp or he's just trying to better position himself for next turn.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yuan-Ti is back. That's a Ring of Winter.
Yeah, but the ring's up or is it on energy?
It's up.
Okay.
But I don't think he wants it at this point.
Yeah, I guess not.
Whereas all those bolts with the magic missile global,
Yep, that's more useful at
he
this
can just
point.
clear out Stephane's board.
Yep.
Which is actually one of the reasons that Ben was running a Blackbird yesterday in order to counter such things.
Yeah, and that was interesting seeing a lot of magic missiles on our second
There were
qualifier.
so many magic missiles.
Yeah, but like as I kind of thought that it was people trying to counter Yuan-Ti since she had
Such low defense.
Yeah, such low defense and 2 faces as opposed to something like Zendala.
Yeah.
That's I would say that's probably one of Yuan-Ti's decent weaknesses is dying to magic missile decently easy unless she's on her top face.
Yeah. And there's 3 magic missiles to get rid of the morph. Generates the sidekick, kills it. He's just double checking his math to make sure he uses the right amount of bolts. Looks like we got the ring again as well as the dragon. Dragon's a little bit shiny die, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he missed it, given he's likely to reroll.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was a Yuan-Ti, not a ring.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So 2 sidekicks.
Yuan-Ti, and looks
And
like it's not on face dragon.
Oh, my mistake. It was a Mimic, not a Yuan-Ti. That makes much more sense.
Yeah.
And there's a prep of 4.
definitely looks like Ben's decently set up for next turn.
Yeah, for sure, with the amount of prep he just did.
Yeah.
And
He just has to hit the ring and have three energy left for a breath weapon, and he's golden.
he may just simply draw and field the dragon from his bag.
Ah,
But
Yeah.
he does have both options available because he'll have enough energy to buy a second dragon if he
Yeah.
wants.
that definitely helps to have the options.
All right, so Stephane got back both characters.
And geez,
And of course, called unstable.
there's one there that really blends into the Canadian maple leaf there.
Yeah.
Taking by the looks of it.
Likely. Or potentially you're just catching up on paying fielding costs.
Yeah, potentially.
Oh, there's the attack declaration. I think Stephane is starting to understand the need to kill certain things.
Yeah.
So that attack declaration managed to kill off a fair bit of Ben's field.
Yeah. The crucial parts. Well, Ben still has that wild to maybe magic missile something.
I think he was planning to do a sidekick swap. So now he's just going to block Morph with the sidekick and magic missile, and to clear the Morph off the table.
Yeah.
He's taking 2 burn damage for Ben because he had nothing in his bag and 2 unused.
Yeah.
So if Ben can hit either the gold dragon itself or the ring, he will likely take the game at this point.
Yeah.
I believe he hit the dragon
Yeah,
and Yuan-Ti. Just re-rolling for sake.
Yeah, just to make sure he's got his bases covered.
He's now got 5. Oh, and it's maximum face dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is game, thanks to Breath Weapon.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so that was a 2-0 win for Ben. And he's just cleaning up. So anyways, thank you guys. We will be back with round 2 of the Top Cup in a few minutes.